Hi, so we're going to do half an hour and it's going to be mostly bendy this one. I am just having a little play with recording from my laptop rather than the phone, so hopefully it will work all right. I'm going to start in standing, so we will get going. So just come and stand feet together, step toes apart, bring heels in line, and just have a little roll of those ankles in and out, and just notice how they feel, how they move. Maybe have a watch of your feet and your ankles and your legs and your knees and see if they do the same thing on each side. I would naturally be able to roll out more through my right than my left, so I have to just focus a little bit on getting that left one moving. And just notice what happens into the muscles around your bum as you roll out and then roll in, and what happens into the muscles around your tummy as you roll out and roll in. And then we'll just come to a nice middle position, so you've got that little lift under the inside of each arch on each foot. Pick up the toes, really spread those apart so they can stay spread as they come slowly back to the mat. And then just have a little soften through the knees, and we'll have a tilt of the pelvis backwards and forwards a few times. So you are just getting that nice little bit of flexion and then a little bit of extension through that lower back. If it's a bit creaky, bend the knees some more, and that should make it a little bit easier. Just that feeling of the pelvis being like a bowl, pouring the water out of the front and then out to the back of the bowl. And then just come into a nice neutral position, so you've got that bit of lift through your tummy. Have a widen across the collarbones, and just think about your head floating up towards the ceiling, lengthening you up through the back of the body, through the back of the neck, and have a couple of deep breaths there. So just letting your body relax into that alignment as you breathe out each time. And then when we're ready, we're going to go for a roll through one shoulder and then slide that hand down the side of the leg. Let the upper body roll to that side and then roll around to centre and then gently up through the middle. Same on the other side, roll, slide that hand out, find the side bend first, then let that upper body roll to that side and then roll it around to centre and up through the middle. So maybe a nice big breath in as you roll, and then breathing out to side bend, roll to that side and around to centre, and breathe in to come up and into the next one. So just trying to find a little bit of stretch as you come into your side bend. Rolling to that side, rolling around to centre and back up through the middle. And we are alternating sides. I can see myself in the video and it's like reversed my picture, so my left feels like my right and vice versa. It's a little disorientating. You guys don't need to worry about that. Just keep going one and then the other. Rolling to that side and then rolling to centre. We'll come up in the middle and we'll have a pause. Take my jumper off because we can't really see what's going on very well, can we? Okay, so we're going to now go for a nice reach up through one arm. Really lengthen up. Imagine you've grabbed onto a bar above your head and then reach down with that other arm. Bend through the knees and find a nice big stretch all through that one side. And then come gently up and then same into the other side. Reach it up. Imagine you've grabbed onto something high above you, you're hanging off that, reach the other arm down and bend into those knees. Come gently back up again. Big breath in to reach up. Breathe out to sink down. Breathe in to come up and into the next one. So those knees stay pretty much in line with those middle toes as they bend forwards, just increasing that stretch a little. Maybe follow that hand with the eyes as you reach up and then follow the other hand with the eyes as you reach down and sink. Let's go one more on each. Last one. And come back to centre. Okay, so we are going to come forward a little bit to make sure there's some space behind you. We're going to step back and open and then return. Step back and open and then return. So you're just getting a little bit of rotation, that pelvis around that one leg, and then the same to the other side. Just breathing out to open up, breathing in to come back again. And then next time we step open, we're going to have a pause. The leg's going to stay there. We're going to reach that one arm back around to find the hand at the front and then open it up again. Now we are breathing out to reach forward, breathing in to open up. That one hand staying out in front of you, and then we're just finding it with the other hand and then opening up again. Keep a bit of lift through the tummy. Keep those ribs gently sinking down. Go one more, and then next time we open, we're going to step back, come all the way back, and open it out the other way and hold. Just that one arm coming forward, and then opening it up again. Keep the lift through the tummy. Head floating up. Shoulders nice and heavy, especially if those arms are starting to get a bit tired. Just let the shoulders sink down. You could always bring the arms a little lower if you're really starting to struggle. Just go for a couple more. 2 and 1. And then we're going to step it all the way back to the front. Although I haven't shake through those arms, so we'll come gently back a little. We are now going to take those feet wide and we're going to go into some lunges with a bit of rotation. So nice and wide across those feet. You want to try and keep the weight into the outside of those feet a little. And we're just going to bend into one knee, send the seat bones backwards, come up through the centre, bend into the other knee, send the seat bones backwards. So you're just folding at those hips, chest coming forwards. So we're staying nice and flat through that back, coming up, and then the same to the other side. Good, keep it going. And then we're going to add in a bit of rotation. So you're going to take the one hand across to the opposite knee, and the hand on the same side goes up towards that ceiling. So your hand is coming to the bent knee, at least for now. If you want to make it a bit deeper, take the hand to the opposite foot. Try and stay flat through the back. Don't let the back round. If you struggle to stay flat reaching for the foot, maybe stick to reaching for the knee. Good. Now in a second we're going to change it round. We're going to reach towards the foot on the straight leg. You may or may not find it, don't worry if you don't. So you're going to bend into one knee, reach towards the foot on the straight leg. Feels a little bit odd this way around. Just go with it. So reach towards the foot on the straight leg. The other arm goes up behind you again. Well done. We're just going to go for 2 and 2 and 1 and 1 and come gently back to centre and bring those feet back together. Now we're going to take a nice big step backwards and come into a split lunge. So big step back and sink that knee down to the floor. I'm going to bring the one hand onto the mat, take the other hand up towards the ceiling, nice big twist. And then we're just going to switch those hands over gently. So we're going to do a couple of these in each direction. Breathing in to open up. Breathing out to come back. Or the other way around if you prefer, whichever feels nicer for you. If you breathe out as you come into the stretch, you might find you can twist a bit further. If you breathe in, you're asking those ribs to open up as they come into rotation. So there's benefits to both. Let's go one more each way. come back to centre. Tuck the toes on that back foot, bring that back foot up, gently press yourself up, step forward with that one, back with the other, sink the knee down, and again, one hand to the floor, opening up, and then switching it over. Maybe breathing in as you open, maybe breathing out, but definitely keep that breath going. And you can see my front knee wants to move a little bit. You really want to keep that front knee pointing forwards all of the time. Good, let's go one more in each direction. And then just come down with those hands, and you're going to step that foot back, and we're going to come into a little bit of a cat. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to breathe out, round that back up. Breathe in and lengthen out again. And maybe just think about pressing both hands and both knees down into the mat to round up. And then top of the head reaches forward, tailbone reaches out behind you to lengthen out. And rather than just sort of sink into extension, see if you can really think about that tailbone lengthening back behind you, top of the head reaching forward, so you really hit a nice neutral line there, and then round up again. It's not that extension's bad, just in this instance we're looking to be able to hit that nice long neutral line. Keep going with that. I'm just going to adjust the angle of my screen so we've got less ceiling involved. There we go. Okay, so let's go for two more like that. Breathing out, rounding up, breathing in, lengthening out. Last one. You're going to come back to neutral, and you're going to imagine that you have a paintbrush attached to your tailbone. And behind you there is a nice big sheet of paper, and you are going to try and draw a nice big circle with your paintbrush on that piece of paper behind you. And that should result in your spine moving a little bit like a skipping rope. Lots of nice three-dimensional movement coming all the way through the spine. And if you let your head move, you might find that it isn't too difficult for your head to mirror what your tailbone is doing. So as your tailbone drops down, the head comes down. As the tailbone comes across to one side, the head comes across to that same side. But see how you feel there. It's not essential that you get that head moving at all. You're just kind of involving the neck a little bit more as a continuation of that spine. And keep breathing. When you're ready, have a pause. We're going to try and take it back the other way. So paint that circle in the other direction. That might not be quite so easy. Take your time. Really think about a big round circle being painted on that piece of paper behind you. And then start maybe to let that head move so that it mirrors your tailbone. But as I said, don't worry too much about your head. Just really focus on getting that back moving, getting that rounding, and a little bit of extension and that side to side movement as well. And as I said, if you really focus on that nice big circle that you're painting with your tailbone, the movement through your back should happen anyway. And if you think, oh dear Lord, I can't get the hang of this, don't worry, just do the best you can. It doesn't matter, just getting that movement through the back and a bit into those hips as well. Just go for a couple more. And then come to centre, drop your bottom back to your heels, take those hands forward and just come down into your shell stretch and breathe into the back of the body there. We're going to walk those hands across to one side. Actually, let's all walk our hands across to the left, and then I can hopefully get my instructions right. So hands are walked across to the left. We've got the stretch into the right side of the body. breathe into that right side. And then you're going to pop your right hand on top of the left one. You're going to breathe in, press down with that right hand, roll the body open, look under your right arm, and then release it back again as you breathe out. So breathing in, rolling open, looking under that right arm, so you should be looking back towards your centre, and then releasing it back again. Just go for 3, 2, and 1. And then walk those hands across to the right. Make sure you're reaching forwards as well as across. Your head is centred in between those arms. Have a couple of nice deep breaths into that left side. And then pop that left hand on top of the right one. Breathe in, press down with that left hand, roll the body open to look under that left arm, and then breathe out to release it back again. So we've got some side flexion going on, and then we're adding in some rotation. Just go for 3. Try and squeeze that left hand down as you roll open. 2, and 1. And then walk those hands back to centre, walk them back up towards you, and we will come and have a little lie down on our backs. So grab a head cushion, make sure that you are comfy, and we will come so that we have got legs together. Yeah, legs together. We don't often start with legs together, but we are starting with legs together. Legs together and arms a little bit wide. And just have a few deep breaths here. Breathe in, really fill your body up with air. Breathe out and let your body sink down into the mat. Maybe imagine that body like a giant balloon. And each time you breathe in, that balloon completely inflates. The air flows down to your fingertips, to your toes. And then as you breathe out, your body completely deflates and you sink down into the floor. You might find that you want to bring your feet a little closer in towards your bottom than you would usually have them, just to allow that real sink and relax through the back of the body. Just keep going with the deep breaths, filling that body up with air. And then breathing out, letting your body-shaped balloon completely deflate into the ground. And then start just to have a little roll of that pelvis away from you as you breathe in, and then towards you as you breathe out. It's nice and easy, checking you've got equal press down into each foot, that equal contact through each side of the back of the body. And don't worry if it doesn't feel 100% equal, we're going to do a little bit of work with that. But sort of tuning into where we're starting from again. Ideally that weight being right in the centre underneath us. And then we're just going to settle so that we've got that back relatively flat into the mat. And you're going to have a very little rock of those knees side to side. So if you think 12 o'clock is straight up, those knees are only maybe coming to 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock on each side. And we're just going backwards and forwards, letting those feet stay glued together. So one foot comes up off the mat, then the other foot comes up off the mat. And you've got a nice easy rock side to side, which should feel quite nice. As long as it feels nice, see if you can go a little bit quicker. Still keep it small, but take it a bit quicker. If it's not 100% comfy, keep it slow, just make it easy. Don't take it quicker, but if you can take it a bit quicker, you'll start to feel that those waist muscles have to work a little bit to stop the knees and pull them back in the other direction each time. And as always, check you are still breathing. Oh, that's just disconcerting. My screensaver has come on. I'm hoping it's still videoing me. I should just have a little check. Keep going. I think it is, yes. Well, this will be interesting. I'm not quite sure how often my screensaver pops up. I might have to adjust that. Okay, so just go a couple more to each side. And then come back to centre. And we're going to keep one leg bent. We're going to straighten the other leg away. And we're just going to roll over that straight leg, keeping the arm heavy into the mat. Shoulder blade may come away a little bit, but try and keep it heavy. And then just come back to centre. And you can look over that opposite shoulder. So the legs are rolling and the body's rolling really. So you come over that straight leg and then back to centre. So getting a big old twist all the way through that spine. And then once you've got the hang of that, you're going to see if you can keep your bent knee pointing up towards the ceiling as you roll that body over that straight leg. So you start to have to open up through that hip, and the bum muscles have to work a little bit to get that roll. So breathing out, rolling, bent knee stays up towards the ceiling, breathing in, releasing back again. If your back does not like this, just go back to rolling those knees side to side and just take them a little bit further each time. We are asking your back to come into some extension and a little bit of rotation. And if it's not enjoying that, then don't keep asking. That's that. I'll just go for 3, 2, and 1. And then have a pause. Just switch those legs over. To start with, that bent knee is just going to roll over and then come gently back again. So again, you've got that one arm heavy into the mat. You're looking in the opposite direction to those legs. Breathing out to roll. Breathing in to come back. And then see if you can get that roll with that knee staying pointing up towards the ceiling. So again, you're having to open up through the front of the hip as you roll. There's bum muscles working on this side now. Breathe out, press into that foot on the floor to roll yourself over that straight leg. See how it feels this way? Definitely a little bit stiffer for me this way. And we'll just go for 3, 2, and 1. And then come back to centre. Just draw those knees into the chest for a moment. Have a little rock side to side and just release off through that lower back. And I'm just going to check my little plan that I've done so that we don't end up doing the same things in all these December videos. Okay. Right. So, come gently back to centre. Bring those feet back to hip width apart. Have a roll of that pelvis towards and away from you again. You might find that it's a little easier for the weight to stay in the centre now. We're going to take those arms just a little bit wider and we're going to go into our level 1 hip twist, but we're going to let the pelvis roll again. So you're going to breathe out, open one knee to the side and then let that pelvis roll. Same to the other side. Breathing out to open, breathing in to come back. So again, we're opening up through those hips, trying to keep the one knee pointing up towards the ceiling as that other knee opens. So if, again, your back doesn't like this so much, just go with your normal level 1 hip twist. Pelvis stays nice and still and just opening at that hip and then returning. If your knee can find the floor, that's brilliant. Don't worry if it can't. But check that each leg goes an equal distance in each direction. And maybe see how far you can open each knee before that pelvis then has to roll. So you're still trying to get the majority of that movement at the hip, but you're then allowing a little bit of rotation through the lower back, and see how that feels in each direction. Again, it might be a little bit different one way to the other. Breathing out to open, breathing in to come back. Done. We'll just go for 2 and 2 and 1 and 1. Come back to centre, reset your nice neutral position. We're going to interlace those hands behind the back of the head in readiness for some abdo prep. Thumbs down the back of the neck. We're just going to get our single leg stretch going first. So have a roll of that pelvis backwards and forwards. Set your neutral, check those ribs are heavy into the mat, and then breathe out, lengthen one leg away. Breathe in to draw that leg back again. Same on the other side. So check the weight staying right in the centre underneath the back of the pelvis. You could, of course, just keep going with your single leg stretch if you would like, but if you're happy to, we're going to add in some oblique prep. So we're going to bring one shoulder up and across, or the opposite shoulder up and across towards that knee that's staying still, and then release it back again. Same to the other side. Now your head is supported by your hands, but you do want to feel like you've really got that length through the back of your neck. So that little feeling that you've just got a little soft peach between your chin and your chest, and you're just gently keeping that there. Oh, I've got my direction the wrong way around. Make sure your shoulder is coming up and across towards the knee that is staying still. So we're really shortening across one diagonal line across the front of the body as we lengthen across the other. Good. If you want to make it a bit tougher, you're going to come up into your oblique prep and hold, reach the one arm out and across to the outside of that bent leg. Fold it back and return. Same on the other side. Keep it relatively slow. Long breath out for that reach. Breathe in to come back. Long breath out for that reach to the other side. Breathe in to come back. Try and keep the weight central underneath the back of the pelvis. I'm going to go 2 more in each direction. Last one each way. Come back to centre, have a little breather, have a roll of that pelvis backwards and forwards, and we're going to set so that we come up into double tabletop. So either neutral, or if you feel you need a bit more support from the mat, you can flatten a little. Try not to push your back down into the mat, just feel that you stay a little flatter. Breathe out, float that first leg up, sink the ribs down, float the second leg up. And then we're going to go back with hands behind the back of the head, thumbs down the back of the neck. We're going into our single leg stretch again. Feel those ribs sink down as you breathe out and reach the leg away. Breathe in to come back. Up, and then we're going to go back into that oblique prep. So coming up and across towards that knee that stays still as the other leg reaches away. Releasing back down to your head cushion in between each one. Should be able to feel those obliques working pretty hard by now. Really reach the leg long. Almost hold that just for a moment and then return. So you can just go for another 3. And 3, 2, and 2. Last 1 and 1. Come back to centre. Take those arms wide, glue the legs together, roll those legs across to one side, look over the opposite shoulder. Roll those legs across to the other side, look over the opposite shoulder. Try and keep a right angle at those knees, right angle at the hips. Shoulder blades glued to the mat. Just go 2 more in each direction. We're nearly done. 2 and 2 1 and 1, and then come to centre, draw those knees in, have a little rock side to side and just release off. Well done. When we're ready, we are just going to roll over onto one side, come all the way onto hands and knees, and we're just going to, oh, I've got a little message on my computer. Oh, my Mac's going to turn off unless we finish soon. It's obviously got bored of me, standard. So bring one leg out to the side, lift through the tummy, drop that tailbone. One hand on that straight leg, breathe out, slide the leg down, come into your side bend. Breathe in to come back. Either hand on hip as you come over, or if you can find the mat, let that hand find the mat. We're just going to alternate one side and then the other. Breathing in to come through centre, breathing out to come over. Just go one more in each direction. And then come back to centre, bring that one leg in, take the other leg out, again lift through the tummy, drop that tailbone, slide the one hand down the leg into your side bend, and then either hand to hip as you come over, or hand to the floor if you can find the floor. Breathing out to come to the side bend, breathing in through the centre, breathing out to come over. Just go one more each way. And then come back to centre. We're going to bring those knees back, toes touch, roll over those feet. So you can keep the hands on the mat, hips up towards the ceiling. Just stay here for a couple of deep breaths. And then we're going to bend those knees, drop the tailbone and gently unroll all the way up to stand. Not quite still in shot, just about. Going to run out of space. We're going to have a breath in, reach up, breathe out and peel down towards those feet. Big breath in at the bottom, press the feet into the mat to unroll up. Big breath in at the top, and we'll just go once more. Big breath in at the bottom, press the feet into the mat. Final big breath in at the top, and there we go. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Lots of twisting and bending there, and I think we've managed to fit in the half an hour before my computer dies. Take care, bye.